Hey, I just want to talk to you for a minute about my heart behind the song Heaven on Earth. There's a lyric in the chorus which for me is the central part of the whole song, and it says that I didn't have to wait for the halos and harps to rest one day, but I found heaven on earth. That lyric is referencing our perception of heaven, that it's just like this amazing place in the sky where we'll lay on clouds and play harps and whatever else we'll do, finally free of all the struggles and the challenges of life, a place where we can finally rest, where we can finally be at peace. But now, here on earth, this is like real life. This is where we still have the real challenges, the real battles, the real daily grind trying to get through, waiting to be in that place of heaven where we can finally rest. But the thing is, I don't think that perception is true. When Jesus was on earth, he talked a lot about heaven. He talked about heaven as a very real place. And it is amazing. It's a place with God where all our earthly struggles will just be a thing of the past. But he didn't only talk about it as a destination for one day in the future where we can finally have peace, but it's something very real which can actually change our lives here today. He talked about what he called the kingdom of heaven, and he said some amazing things about it. In fact, he said the kingdom of heaven is already here. There's a passage in the book of Luke where the religious leaders are quizzing Jesus about when this kingdom's going to show up. And he said to them, it's not going to come with big signs like what you're expecting, but he said it's already here. He said it's already within you. They were waiting for the kingdom to arrive with this big powerful blast and change their world into this place that looks like heaven. But Jesus said to them, but it's already here, it's in you, and it can change your life from the inside out. And see, that's a key difference, because if heaven's just a place, you have to go there to experience it. But a kingdom's different. A kingdom literally means where the king has dominion. It's like a set of rules, or it's more like a way of life. Jesus says this kingdom of heaven is where God's in control. It's where life is according to his ways. And Jesus said that kingdom's already here. He said there's already a way that you can experience the kingdom of heaven here on earth. You don't have to wait to go to that place in the sky with the halos and harps to finally have peace. You can have heaven on earth here in your life, here today. In fact, in the Lord's Prayer, which is where Jesus teaches us how to pray, he specifically says that we should pray these words. We should say, Father, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth just as it is in heaven. So he said that we should actually aim and desire and pray for God's kingdom to be seen in our lives just as it is in heaven. What an amazing thought that is, that our lives can actually reflect heaven. Sure, there'll still be challenges while we're here on earth. Until we get to that place in heaven, there'll still be battles. But Jesus is saying that our lives don't have to be dictated by that. Our lives don't have to be dictated by this world system anymore. We can live in a place of heaven on earth. Now, in this song, in the verses, I reflect on what I think are 4 classic elements of this world system, this world kingdom. I want to actually read the lyrics of them here and see if you can relate to these in any way in your own life. 1, he's stuck in the rut, doing all of the things that you do till he falls into bed, and then he's got to get back up to do them all again. That feeling of just being stuck in the rut, stuck in the cycle, having to just go through the motions, doing the things that you've got to do in this world. No sense of purpose, no sense of meaning, no sense of joy in that, just being stuck in the daily grind. Number 2, it's all too much. With the kids and the house and the job and the cars and the rent, and you can add your own in there. Could it all just stop until she finds herself again? That feeling of being overwhelmed and stuck on the treadmill of life, just trying to keep up and just wanting to scream, could everything just stop and I can actually figure out who I am and what I'm doing and what's becoming of my life. Number 3, there's never enough, because you're striving and trying and finding a way to meet ends, and then one flat tire and you're back to the start again. That feeling of just striving and trying to just get by, and you're just making it, and then another thing happens and you've just got to try and catch up and work to do what you can to catch up, and then something else hits you out of the blue, and there's just never enough. It's like a never-ending cycle. Number 4, you're never enough. You get the perfect shots with the filters and captions, and then you go and cry yourself to sleep because it's all pretend. That feeling underneath, that it's like whatever masks I have, whatever facades, underneath feeling like I'm not enough. I try and project this perfect image. I try and project an image which meets the society's standards or measures up to the image of those around me. But underneath, I just feel like a fraud. Underneath, I just wish it was real and wish I was enough and wish I could measure up to what I feel like I see in everyone else around me. And you can add more to that list. Like I said, those are just 4 things that I feel like are classic elements of this world system that tries to squeeze us into its mold. But then, like I cry out in the pre-chorus, I say, can we escape the madness? Don't we long to find more than ordinary life? But the truth is that you don't have to live under that world system, under those pressures. You can actually live in a place of heaven on earth. And that means so many amazing things. That's a place of having purpose and meaning rather than being stuck in the daily grind of life. Now, that's about having hope for the future. It's about living in peace and rest, even amongst the chaos. It's about living in joy and a place where you're genuinely enjoying your life. It's about having healing and wholeness and restoration. It's about having provision and blessing rather than trying to strive to make it in your own strength. And the amazing thing is that through Jesus, we can actually experience this. We can actually live in a place of heaven on earth. Sure, there'll still be challenges. As long as we're here on earth, that's going to be part of the journey. It's not until we're actually in that place called heaven that we'll be free from those battles. But even here on earth, our lives can be like pockets of heaven. The book of Isaiah talks about it like gardens in the desert. What an awesome picture. Our lives are like beautifully watered gardens in the middle of a desert, where we're living in these pockets of heaven on earth, with peace amongst the chaos, joy amongst the brokenness, life and healing and restoration, and the amazing things that God has for us. And the only way to experience that is through Jesus. On our own, sure, we can do good works, we can try hard, but we can't actually change the inside. We can't actually fix what's broken in us. Now, that's the amazing thing with what Jesus did. He came, died, he gave his life in love for us to fix from the inside out, so that we could be forgiven of sins and we on the inside could be righteous just like he is. And we could have that seed of heaven planted on the inside of us, so that now the kingdom of heaven can shape and change our lives from the inside out, turning our lives into a garden in the desert, and not just keeping that with us, but spreading that to those around us. And the craziest thing about this kingdom of heaven is that all of this is a free gift. It's not something we work for, it's not something we earn, there's no standard we have to measure up to. It is the free gift of Jesus, and all we have to do is receive it. So that's my heart for this song. It's an invitation, really, that you can find heaven on earth. Whatever your story, however broken, you can find heaven on earth. Jesus has a story for you, and he's not finished writing it. You can find heaven on earth. That's my invitation, and really that's Jesus' invitation. You can escape the madness. You can find more than ordinary life. You can find heaven on earth.